I know I get asked in my classes a lot, and I know you get asked in the office. There are some common birth control myths. Let's try to tackle a few of them. Myth number 1, if I get a tubal ligation, does that make my period heavier?
This is a pretty interesting one. So basically, when you have a period and the lining is shedding from the inside of the uterus, you notice the blood coming out of the vagina. That's what you use a pad, a tampon for. The fallopian tubes are open tubes. Blood can come out of the fallopian tubes. This is me being a uterus. Out of the fallopian tubes into the pelvis. That blood just absorbs. You wouldn't know any different.
Okay.
Now, if we clip your tube or remove your tube, there's only one way for that blood to come out, and it's out of the vagina. So one of the thoughts behind women perceiving heavier periods after a tubal ligation or a tube removal is that, well, maybe there is more blood coming out because there's none coming out into the pelvis. Second of all, a lot of times women are getting a tubal ligation after having been on a hormonal birth control for a long period of time. If you've always been on a birth control pill for 15 years and now you stop it, you don't know how your periods are in your 30s or 40s. Maybe they are heavier and maybe they are more painful than they were when you were in your 20s.
Is there any truth to the myth that if I use birth control for a long time or just birth control use in general causes infertility?
No. More often is when you are on a birth control for a long period of time, especially people who are skipping the placebo week in their pill pack. So the sugar pills, when you have your period, if you skip it and you just keep taking the hormonal pills, that's okay. You don't have to have a break from the hormones once a month. But the longer you do that, the more your ovaries go to sleep, if you will. So then when you stop your birth control pill, it might take a couple of months for your ovaries to wake up and start ovulating or releasing an egg again. If you don't take your pills continuously, or it hasn't been a long time, and you do have a bleed once a month, that person more than likely will get pregnant the very next month.
We were talking about that last week, the 4th line of pills. Some people don't take that. Is that okay?
Yeah, you have a beach trip coming up, and on your pill pack, it's when you're supposed to be bleeding. Just skip it. Now, I will say, sometimes you'll have what's called breakthrough bleeding when you try to skip that monthly bleed. Some women are able to take their pill for years and only have bleeding a couple of times a year. When you experience the bleeding on the hormonal pills, that's usually your body's sign to just let yourself have a period week. Doesn't have to be a full 7 days, but usually like a 5 to 7 day time period of no hormonal pills to have a bleed and then restart it.
Is there any truth to the need of cleansing your body or taking breaks from birth control?
No. Most of the time when you're taking a hormonal method, the next month off of it, you will go back to ovulating and therefore could get pregnant.
Okay. Here's an age-old question. Is 2 condoms better than 1?
So, no. 1 condom. 1 unexpired, appropriately placed condom is what you need.
And does that count for both male and female condoms?
Yes.
Okay.
You don't need to wear a female condom and a male condom. Just one female condom or 1 male condom for the entire intercourse that you have.
From beginning
to end. And that is the only method that's also going to prevent you from getting sexually transmitted infections.
Cover both bases.
Absolutely.
Does hormonal birth control cause weight gain?
This is definitely one that I spend a good amount of time talking about every week. In general, hormones affect everyone in different ways. It's not going to be a one-size-fits-all, and that's why there's so many formulations of birth control.
And sometimes why you have to try a different one.
Absolutely. There are also like 20 or so types of birth control pills because each one of them contains different amounts of estrogen or no estrogen at all and different formulations of progesterone called progestins. Typically, the progesterone aspect of the hormonal method, whether it's your pill, your patch, the ring, or even the next one on, the implant in the arm, that can affect your appetite. if you notice when you start a hormonal birth control that it has impacted your appetite and you are hungrier and you eat more when you're on that method, you are going to gain weight. Probably the biggest offender for weight gain that's definitely been proven in studies is going to be the Depo shot, which is a big progesterone shot that you get every 3 months. That's been proven to cause weight gain. Also, long-term use of it is going to cause weakening of your bones and osteoporosis. So it's just not a good long-term method.